Hello folks, I'm Headley, another fat bearded man talking about records, and I had a nice weekend, went across to the Leeds Record Fair and hooked up with a number of UK VCers. There was Nick's Vinyl Butty, Nick was there, Ian, Ranking the Obscure, there was Mike Vinyl Spiral. I met for the first time Gav Axeman Spins, nice to meet him. There was also David Atkinson, who I hadn't met before, he was there. Charlie, let me get this right, whose channel is me Digger You Viewer, had a brief chat with him, nice guy. Then there were the old reprobates, Rob Walker, Steve Whitty, it was his 60th birthday on the weekend, so happy birthday to Steve again. And there was also a pianist, 6-inch pianist, John, the 6-inch pianist. He was there as well. So yeah, a jolly time, I hope, was had by all. Certainly was by me. Anyway, so first of all, I got there, started looking around, and I really wasn't feeling it, which I thought was quite good because it meant I might save some money. But that didn't really last for long. So yeah, I'll show you some of the stuff I picked up at the fair. I also got some records given to me very kindly by a couple of the guys, and then we went to a couple of record shops. So I'll get on with it because this could go long, and I don't want it to go long, as the actress said to the bishop. Okay, so first up, a Johnny Cash record. I can't remember the last time I bought a Johnny Cash record. I have a sizable collection of his records, but this is one I never had. The Ring of Fire compilation, I think from 1962 or 63 originally, I'm not sure. This is a UK pressing, stereo. Yeah, I mean, I just love that. I've always loved that cover. I mean, he looks mean and moody, and this great concentric circles. I just think that's a classic cover, isn't it? So yeah, so for £2 I had to have that. Also at the same stall for £2, I couldn't say no to a bit of Flemish Renaissance lute music. You know, who wouldn't be able to resist that? Yeah, so I like a bit of that sort of Renaissance and early music. It's very nice. They look exactly like you imagine two retro Renaissance lute players from Flemland, from Belgium. I suppose it could also be part of France, couldn't it? But anyway, I think some of them actually are sung in French and some are in Flemish. Anyway, I'm going to give you a clip of that because, you know, if I've got to listen to it, you have as well. Okay, then I went along, and they have those stalls that have a lot of sort of £15–10 sealed records that are obviously overstocks, and they sort of buy them in bulk. And I bought a couple from those. The first one I picked up, I was really pleased to find for a tenner, was Beverly Glenn-Copeland. This is Transmissions, and this is a compilation of his sort of spanning his career, but I mean, it's only about 11 tracks. It has a bonus 7-inch in it, but it sort of follows his career from the 70s up to sort of the 2000s. I think the latest thing on here is from about 2018 or something. And although I have a couple of tracks on one of his earlier albums, I'm really pleased to find this. He is a kind of soulful, folky, new age, he's also called. I think he's in his 80s now. He had an album out a couple of years ago that I got that was absolutely lovely. So I've been picking up any of his records I see when I find them.
Look into my eyes, the country of anywhere. The roads will take you there anytime. And I won't ask how long you'll love me, babe, though it's on my mind. Look into my eyes, forever the paling hour that reveals your power and your fears. And I won't ask what was gained, babe, between your love and your tears.
Okay, the other one I found. Now, a little story, just to take the piss out of Nick. I was chatting to Nick and Ian at one of the stalls, and Nick was looking through the records, and he found this one, Carol Thompson. What's it called? Hopelessly in Love. And I went, oh, I love that cover, I said. And he pulled it out, and he went, oh, that's 15 quid, I'm going to get that. And I was like, oh, bollocks, I'd have got that. Anyway, so he kind of flicked me the V's and went, no, I'm having it, mate. So yeah, he beat me to it. Then, Nick, I found this for a tenner later in the fair. This is Lovers Rock, you know, reggae stuff from the early 80s, 81, repressed on the Trojan label. Lovely record. I love that cover. Like I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful cover. Apparently, I've seen an interview with her where she talks about the fur coat being borrowed from her mother, and I think they just sat on that bloke's car, didn't ask him, took the photo. Absolutely iconic cover. Anyway, she looks very different on the insert that comes in it. So there she is, looking all very young. And then suddenly, she's looking like a 90s R&B diva on that sort of thing. But it's nice. It's an insert where she tells you a little bit about the background and stuff. But nice bit of Lovers Rock. So very pleased to get that for a tenner.
Stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up, stand up. Stand up, stand up. Stand up, stand up. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to make you blue. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. Oh no, oh no, oh no, no.
Okay, last one I picked up at the actual fair is something I've been after for a while, and this is Jim O'Rourke Eureka. I'm not sure I should really be showing this album cover. I'd like to show you the back, but it's exactly the same. Anyway, so Jim O'Rourke, for those who don't know, kind of avant-garde, post-rock artist who's kind of collaborated with everyone under the sun. He was in a band called Gastra del Sol. He was in Sonic Youth for a while, produced albums by them, he engineered Wilco's Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, and then he produced their next album, a Ghost. What's it called? A Ghost. What's it? A Ghost is Born. Oh yeah, Ghost is Born. Yeah. Yeah, so we're all adults here, aren't we? I'm going to say this isn't for children. So anyway, I mean, it's you know, it's a bit of an unfortunate record cover, but yeah, this is not like his more sort of avant-garde stuff. A lot of minimalism, noise stuff, electronic. This is folky and quiet and absolutely lovely.
Nothing makes me want to disappear as when someone opens their mouth. It's just my luck. I get hit by a car while carrying a cake. Dripping cherries onto the pavement, riding room on my face. I'm not there like a ghost ship in a storm. Bye 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 bye
While I was at the fair, Charlie, who I met, who I said was his channel is called Me Digger You Viewer, Me Digger You Viewer, Me Digger underline You Viewer. Check him out, great videos. Now I didn't recognise him because he doesn't show himself in his videos. He just flicks through records that he's showing. So I didn't recognise his face. Yeah, but it was nice chatting to him. And he brought me a couple of records, which was really lovely of him. And they're absolutely fascinating records, actually. This one, first up, is by Stuart Sim, and it's called Fugitive. And this is from Orkney. So it was I think it was recorded on Orkney. Yeah, recorded in the Orkney Islands at Kelderbray, Finstown, Orkney. And yeah, it's a country album. Apparently he hadn't played with the band before. They just sort of went into the studio and knocked out a few tunes. And it's brilliant. And I'll tell you why it's brilliant. It's just a collection, like a lot of UK country music. I don't know what date of this it is. It's probably early 80s, 80, 81, something like that. It doesn't actually have a date on it, and it's not on Discogs. But yeah, so it's a collection of, like I said, like a lot of country albums from the UK, just cover versions of US country tunes. The Fugitive of the title is actually Lonesome Fugitive, the Merle Haggard song. But you've also got Sunday Morning Coming Down, Christopherson. You've got Tulsa Time, which was done by, oh, what's his name? I'll get it. I will get it. No, I won't get it. Williams. Don Williams. There you go. I knew I'd get it. Yeah, and there's even Unchained Melody. There's Leaving Louisiana in the Broad Daylight, which is a Rodney Crowell song. But the thing I like about this one, it's really kind of stripped back. It's just it's like a bar band going through all these tunes. They seem to really like them. He performs them really well. There's nothing overly fantastic about it. But it's just a straight ahead kind of bar band doing a bunch of country tunes, and I love that. Now, I read who's in the band. There they are. Now, this guy here, who's the bass player. Now, that guy, I recognised his name, and his name is Jim Bakey. And I kind of went, I know that name, and then I looked it up, and I realised why I knew him. I knew him for being a comic book artist, and he drew famously. He drew a strip in 2000 AD, which was written by Alan Moore, called Skiz, which after Alan Moore left the series, he did another couple of series of that where he wrote it himself as well. He also went and did some work for DC Comics. He drew for Detective Comics, Batman, and a series called Electric Warrior. So, and also drew that cover. I think he died in 2017, unfortunately, did Jim Bakey. But yeah, and the photography on this says R.M. Bakey. Now, I don't know if that's a relation. I did look it up. I know it's not his sister, because his sister's called Josephine or Jocelyn or something like that. But yeah, but so that sounds really good. That is really good. So Charlie, thanks for that one. I really love it. The other one that Charlie gave me is this, which is called The Country Folk. And again, this is from Orkney, although technically speaking, the bass player is from Shetland and it was recorded on Shetland. So it's not really an Orkney record, but the band is. Anyway, so again, this is I think Charlie picked this up because he thought it might be a bit more trippy than it is. It's got them doing songs like Walk the Line and Waiting for a Train, the Jimmy Rogers tune, Cheating Heart by Hank Williams, but it's also got a lot of folk stuff, a couple of Tom Paxton tunes, Rambling Boy, Last Thing on My Mind, but it's all kind of done in a very folky way. So the country stuff sounds very folky, almost as if I don't know, someone like Peter, Paul and Mary did a country album, because there is a female singer who is called Kathleen Bakey. Now, as I said, I looked it up. That isn't Jim Bakey's sister, but another Bakey from Orkney. I mean, unless they're a load of Bakeys on Orkney, which there probably is, I wonder if she's related to him. Anyway, so yeah, it's a nice little record, that. So thank you, Charlie. There's the track listing. Yeah, on the Thurl Records, which I think they are from Shetland. So Thurl Records, there it is. What was the other one on? The other one was on Attic Records. Probably the only one on Attic Records. Anyway, so 2 country records from Orkney. Thank you, Charlie. They are great.
Maybe she was staring in the mirror. Maybe I was too, cause I was stoned. Singing every sad song on the jukebox one more time. Honey, they were heading close to home. Stranger, shut out the light and lead me somewhere, shut out the shadows too. And as I lay there, making believe you love me. Stranger, could I believe in you? Maybe this'll make you think I'm crazy. And I don't feel lonesome if you do. But if you want to make a young man happy one more time, I'd sure like to spend the night with you. Stranger, shut out the light and leave me somewhere, shut out the shadows too. And as you lay there, making believe you love me. Stranger, could I believe in you?
Okay, so after leaving the fair, we went to the pub, and John got out a bag of records, and he gave me a couple. He gave me this, which is Listen Here, a transatlantic sampler of folk stuff from 1968, where you've got Pentangle, Ralph McTell, Bert Jansch, John Renbourn, the usual sort of people you expect to find. Great compilation, great tunes. Nice to have that. Thanks, John. Also, he got me Bluegrass Ramble, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys. This is from 1963 on the Brunswick label, so it's a UK pressing. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Bill Monroe. This is a great collection of tunes, well-known ones like Little Maggie, £9 Hammer, Cotton Fields, John Hardy, Shady Grove, even Danny Boy. So yeah, that's cracking. Also, finally, John gave me a Ned's Atomic Dustbin 12-inch single of Not Sleeping Around. I think he gave me this because he saw me show a Ned's Atomic Dustbin single in my 30 12-inch records video recently. So yeah, I put this on and I absolutely loved it. I think I need more Ned's Atomic Dustbin in my life. I really do. So after we pulled ourselves away from the pub, we walked up to the head row where there's a Wall of Sound Records, which is in the basement under Crash Records. It's worth going to. It's a bit ramshackle, a little bit triggering if you're claustrophobic. David Atkinson found it all a little bit too much. I was kind of with him. It's got worse, I have to say. But, you know, they've just got more stuff down there piled up. Anyway, I managed to find a John Hartford record. Well, this is John Hartford, Pat Burton and Benny Martin. What's it called? It's called Slumber on the Cumberland. It's from 1979 on the Flying Fish label. It's bluegrass. So I've got another John Hartford record for the collection. Found a couple of his this year, so I'm really pleased about that. Now, I've been talking to David about Martin Stevenson. We were talking about folk music in the pub, and he said, "Did you know Martin Stevenson?" I said, "Well, I do. I've got the album he recorded with June Tabor, but I've never really explored his own material." And David said, "Oh, you really should." So anyway, in Wall of Sound, I came across this, which is a Topic Records introduction to Martin Simpson. It's a double album. They did a bunch of these. There's an Obi strip here. As you can see, you've got a. They also do a Shirley Collins, a June Tabor, an Anne Briggs, and a Waterson Carthy. So they're really good collections. I think they did them when around the time that Topic Records, was it 80 years or something? I can't remember now. But yeah, now David said the track Never Any Good is great, and I listened to it and I went, yeah, no, I know that tune. It's great. Now, he's kind of one of those folky guitar, British folk guitar people, but he's also heavily influenced by American blues and folk, so he brings that in as well. And there's stuff on here that kind of he does a version of John Hardy on here as well, and there's a track called Delta Dreams. So there is a bit of that Americana on here as well, alongside the British folk, but he presents it in a very sort of English folk manner, which is great. So I've had great fun listening to that. So David, thanks for the recommendation. It didn't go wrong. So Martin Simpson.
He came home from the Great War with the pips of a captain's rank, a German officer's Luger, and no money in the bank. Your family sent you down the coal mine to learn to be captain there, but you didn't stand it very long. You needed the light in the air. Oh, you were never any good with money. Couldn't even hold a job, not steady enough for the office, not hard enough for the heart. You'd rather be watching the fulmars fly, or fishing with your split cane rod. You were never any good with money. You couldn't even hold a job. When the Second War came along, you knew what should be done. You would re-enlist to teach young men the booby trap and the gun, and they sent you home to Yorkshire with a crew and a Lewis gun, so you could save your seaside town from the bombers of the Hun. Oh, you were never any good with money. You couldn't even hold a job, not steady enough for the office, not hard enough for the heart. You'd rather be finding the nightjar's nest or fishing with your split cane rod. You were never any good with money.
Okay, and finally we went up to Relic Records, which is kind of just around the corner from the head row in Leeds. And we nearly outstayed our welcome. The guy was trying to shut up shop. It was 5:30, and we were still all in there chatting. With totally unaware of what was going on. Anyway, I found this. I found a Dan Crary record. This is on the Sugar Hill label. This is bluegrass. You've got people like Byron Berline, Sam Bush, Bella Fleck, Herb Pedersen. So I think it was a $5. So I thought, yeah, I've got another album of his. It's great stuff. So yeah, there you go. Good day. Nice to meet the people I hadn't met before. Nice to see the old friends. So yeah, we'll be doing it again soon, I'm sure. Although I don't think we'll be doing it in Leeds. I think that the Brummies want us to go down to Birmingham. So the next meetup will probably be in Birmingham. So until then, well, not until Birmingham. Until the next time I see you. Bye bye for now.